Voters in the United Kingdom are heading to the polls on Thursday in local elections. Now, while the balance of power in Westminster won't change, these elections are being carefully watched to see just how much the Partygate scandal has dented the popularity of UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson and his governing Conservative Party. Giles Gibson reports from London.
Well, on this final day of campaigning, candidates will be knocking on doors all over the UK, trying to get those crucial final votes. Now, here in England, as well as in Wales and in Scotland, people will be choosing their representatives for their local councils. These are bodies that really deal with bread and butter stuff, such as fixing potholes in roads, organising local transport routes, as well as making sure that the rubbish and the recycling gets collected on time. Meanwhile, in Northern Ireland, voters there will be choosing their representatives for the National Assembly, which has devolved powers from Westminster. So there are no seats up for grabs in the UK Parliament in these elections, but what we are going to be watching very closely is to see what sort of insight they give into the performance of the parties and also their leaders at a national level. For the Conservatives, this is all about moving on from the Partygate scandal that's dominated the headlines over the last few months. Of course, last month, the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson was forced to apologise after being issued with a fixed penalty notice, similar to a speeding ticket, for breaking lockdown rules. His wife, as well as the UK Finance Minister Rishi Sunak, were also fined in relation to the birthday party for the Prime Minister that was held at 10 Downing Street in June of 2020. The cost of living crisis, with prices going up for everything from food to energy bills, could also affect support for the Conservatives, who of course are in charge of running the UK economy. And one survey in the final days of campaigning before the elections predicted that the Conservatives would lose almost 500 seats in local councils. Meanwhile, Keir Starmer, the leader of the opposition Labour Party, is also facing accusations that he broke lockdown rules, but he has said that this is simply mudslinging from his political opponents. In these elections, the Labour Party leader will really be hoping that he can try to attract voters who deserted the Labour Party in the last general election, bring them back over to the Labour Party in these local elections. Giles Gibson, CNA, London.